Okay, now in this video we're going to have a look at our third type of bonding, and this type of bonding is metallic bonding. It's the simplest type of bonding of the lot. If we look at the diagram that's on the board, that is pretty much the standard diagram that represents metallic bonding, and it's a bit of a hybrid between the bonding that we have looked at so far. Okay, so what do we have in terms of this bonding? Well, we have positive ions. Okay, so positive ions or metal cations, just like we had, if you remember, in our ionic bonding. So the metal on its own will have its electrons in this sea of electrons, or what you can call delocalized electrons. And that means that the electrons are free to move throughout the structure, just like, if you remember, graphite from our non-metal structures or our covalently bonded structures. Now, what then is the glue, if you like, that is holding this together? Well, it is exactly these delocalized electrons and the cations. And if you think about it, you have a positive to negative attraction. Okay, now, because the electrons are constantly on the move, any attraction that does occur will be broken again very quickly, and it will reform elsewhere. So the electrons are always moving through the structure all the time. The attraction is not quite strong enough to keep them in one place. Okay, but when the attraction between, let's say, these two breaks, well, then a new attraction between the electron and another positive ion will form. So you get a consistent quantity of metallic bonding throughout the giant metallic lattice at all times, and that gives the metal the structure. The stronger the bond is, the higher the melting point, because obviously to melt it you need to break the bonds. Okay, you need to separate the positives from the negatives. So when you are drawing this, the examiner will very often ask you to draw and label diagram to illustrate the bonding in, let's say, for example, magnesium. Well, the key things you need to do there is your positive ions are magnesium, and remember, magnesium is 2+. So don't just write Mg, magnesium, and don't write Mg+. You should know that magnesium ions are 2+, and that's what you should have. They are surrounded by these electrons, which are delocalized, and they are free to move. Okay, so the examiner will expect you to label this, and you will label it as a metal cation, and you will label the electrons as delocalized electrons. Okay, and that's what you will get marked on a diagram similar to that. You'll see something in your notes, but make sure that you answer the question specific to the metal that the examiner has asked, and that you get the charge on that metal correct by using your periodic table to work out what the charge would be if that thing is as an ion. And the delocalized electrons are free to move. Okay, so in terms of metallic bonding, guys, there really isn't anything more that you at this level need to know.